Sup, everybody, and welcome to the Humble Vestures podcast. I am your host, Jaron Jones, and this is your co-host, Bridget Jones.
Hey everybody.
So, not an action-packed week, but pretty chill week. Bridget's back to work, full speed now. This is about week 2 back from leave, convalescent
Yeah,
leave, right?
this is week 2.
Mm-hmm. I did another retirement yesterday. Uh, she couldn't go; she had to work, but it was cool. And the interesting with that retirement, obviously he's retiring, but he had 30 years of service. And that's special in its own right. 30 years. Like that's like you can't do over that. Once you get close to 20, they already start sending you like, "Hey, what's your plans? When you're retiring? What's your stuff?" So anyway, during his service, I've never seen this before. During his retirement, he brought open beers. He brought beers for everybody in the audience and literally had someone pass them out to everybody. The host, the MC, and everything. That was the coolest thing. Yeah, too bad you missed that one, but
What
it
did
was
the
cool.
chaplain do? I meant to ask when he was handed a beer.
I never looked at the chaplain. I didn't even think to look at him.
What?
Yeah, I never even looked to see. But I know the MC was up there. He kind of like cracked it open. He was like, it took a swig. And the honoree, as he's doing his speech, he cracked his open. So that was kind of cool. That was interesting.
I
And
meant to
then,
ask you this, and you've been to more of our friends or people that you have served with retirement since yours. Do
mhm.
you ever go to some of those and be like, man, I wish I would have done mine different? Do you have any
Oh,
regrets of yours?
absolutely. Yes. First off, I didn't want to do one in the
To
first
begin with?
place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the captain talked me into doing it. So then I did it. And then it was going to be just casual. And my parents was coming and my mom wanted me to dress up. So I was already going to be uncomfortable. Already didn't want to do it. I didn't want it to be one of those long drawn out things because I've been to those retirements that is forced. Like
Mm,
no one likes you. But because of that, the command knows that and no one would show up, so they force everybody to go. I didn't want that. So that was one of the things is don't have a bunch of people there. Only let people go if they want to go. And it was still a good turnout. But
because people do like you.
even those amount of people, I was still so nervous. So regrets, yes. I kind of wish I had like called people out, but I didn't want to call people out because I didn't want to miss anybody. And because I wanted to keep it short, I didn't want to call specific people out. You know what I mean? So I regret not doing that. Because, like DeMello, I was with him in Juneau, met him in Juneau. Then he ends up being my boss again in
Mm,
North Carolina.
right.
Then he came down to my retirement. That was special. I should have said something. I said thank you for the people that traveled. And I was like out of my mind. I couldn't think. Another key one, I should have called out Zach Hubble. We were
Hmm.
with him in Juneau. He ends
And
up
he
being in
traveled.
Wilmington, and he drove, what, an hour and a half to come to my retirement. Why didn't I say something specific? You know what
And
I mean?
surprised you like you didn't know he was coming. So,
Exactly. Then the other one, these are all my regrets. I'm answering your question. And the other one was Clerkin.
mm,
Clerkin was with me at SMTC. This is when I made first class. When I made first class, he came in as a chief, and then I was leaving. So we only worked together for a short time, but we kind of lived in the same community. So we see each other outside of work all the time. And then our kids played together. So,
I probably worked with him more than you did.
yeah, I didn't even realize he was there until the end.
Mm,
So, my point in saying that is that's a perfect example. I'm naming people, calling people, and didn't even see him.
right.
So, I would have skipped over him. And that was one of the things I was focused on not doing. But now I wish I had done it,
Mm,
if that makes sense.
it does. But
Yeah.
I knew your speech before where you went to give your speech and you only made it through like the first line and forgot your wife.
I didn't mention you at all.
No,
Not a bit. Not
no,
once.
no.
No way.
You thanked your parents for being there. You talked about Maddie and Jaron, and then that was it.
Really, I blanked out
I know.
because even I talked about I had no so how I ended the the speech was talking about the whole black and white thing
Right.
because I'm always the only black guy. Just like at both the retirements. Oh no, the retirement the other day there was another black couple, but normally I'm the only black guy. Why would I bring up that issue? I don't know. So I brought that up, but I mean it was good.
Yes,
You
and
know,
I
it
know
was a
what your
good
point
ending.
was. Yeah.
Right. It was like I dealt with all that stuff in the other service and I was only there for a short period of time, but I was here 20 years in the Coast Guard and that never happened. You know what I mean? So it was like, and I appreciated that. And right then the tears started coming. So it was like, all right, I'm done. So I got up.
Forget who it was. I don't know if it was Captain Bear or if it was Zach now looking back, but somebody, one of them came up to me afterwards like, he didn't mention you at all. I was like, yeah, he was nervous to begin with. So
Another regret, I didn't grab the mic. I just was speaking. Everyone was talking, everyone holding the mic. And I was just like, can y'all hear me? And I just started talking. So that answered your
do
question.
over. We're going to have a do over at your 10 years.
Oh my gosh, no.
Just
So
kidding.
anyway, and then yesterday we went out and about, had a little small little outing, did a
Hmm.
little shopping.
Us time.
hmm Then we got some pizza, Luigi's.
Our favorite. If any of you are ever in Morehead City for whatever reason, and I'm not going to say it's the best pizza in the world, but it is pretty darn good pizza. And when you
hmm
get a large, it typically overlaps the box that it comes in, but it tastes so good. So good. And it's a small, private owned business. It's from locals around here who have Italian ties, and they have some Italian cousins that work in the restaurant with them. So great food.
hmm And then we had a little project to end the night yesterday. Put together a stand-up desk. Ooh. That
That work.
was pretty cool. Yeah, because the
Jared,
other one I broke. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you did all the work. I just read the pictures and handed you the parts and supervised kind of.
Yeah, but we got it done. It was actually pretty quick. We did
Mhm.
what, 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. I have one of those big 49-inch widescreen monitors, a Samsung monitor. I really had no idea it was going to be this much of a pain. I really had no idea. And it's heavy. So my old desk is one of those Amazon desks that you get for like $70 off of Amazon. And I bought one of those mounts so you can kind of put it on an arm. Yeah, it broke the desk. It was so heavy. It literally like broke the desk because it's one of those particle board desks. And you know how there's like screws that hold it together like this? The weight just broke it. And I cracked the monitor too in the process. So it still works, but it's got two lines down it. But so now we got stand up desk. I got more room. We got the wider one. So it's 63 by 28. So it's pretty wide. So it's cool. Like I
And it
can do
can
like
fit the
this.
monitor perfectly. And
Like this, and I can't touch my monitor at all. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And what'd you say? I'm sorry.
I was just saying, and it's big enough for the monitor, so it won't be any problem to fit that
Yep.
and multiple screens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was good. But today's topic, or one of the topics, we're talking about finances. Talking about getting out of debt. The biggest thing holding us back is credit card debt. Because like your credit cards, like no one, I shouldn't say no one, but most people don't just intend to just max it out. Just over time, you're low short here, I'll put on the card. Low short
Hmm.
here, I'll put on the card. And then when you see that minimum payment of $23, oh yeah, I'll pay this $23 and I'll pay a little extra later. You keep using the card. Now that 23 is now $88 a month. Eventually, it's $200 a month.
Hmm.
So then You either get another card or switch to a card. Lots of people do that. I am guilty of that. And one of the things that I use is a website called Indebted. So, like Snowball, there's a snowball effect on paying your debt, and then there's an avalanche effect. You know the difference, Bridge?
I know you've explained it to me once again, but I would say for the listeners, you should explain it. But if I remember correctly, decreasing your debt, the snowball effect is like a slow finish line, but the avalanche is like get there a whole lot faster.
Mm-hmm. Well, so in a way, so part of why I asked that is because some people believe in the avalanche and some people believe in snowball.
Mm,
So we're going to break down the differences. But now I use Indebted because that's what I found, and I found it to be very affordable. It is free as well, but I paid for the extra so I can get the extra features. So this is like just a basic overview. Like these would be your accounts right here in the middle. Those are your accounts. Now, what you got to do is you got to go in and get your balances. You got to get the balances and you want to get the interest. You want the minimum payments. It's easy math to the computer. And once you plug that all in, it knows when you're going to pay all that debt off if you keep doing the minimums and whatever else. But this is pretty much an overview of it. This section down here, as you can see, I should have did another screenshot, but in this here, you'll see it has the dates along the side here. And you can see the different accounts here and you can see what the payments are. And it tells you what the different amounts to pay right here. Then you can see what the interests are. You see the balances. Like it breaks down everything. So the snowball effect, you make all your minimum payments after you already listed everything out. Now you're not going to include like your house. You're pretty much including credit cards, loans, things like that. Once you already figured that all out and you know how much you're putting out every month, now you want to get that little extra. You want to have that little cushion. Like, what's the extra? So let's say you make 3,000 a month. All your credit cards come out to 850 bucks. So let's say you wanted to do $1,000. That's your amount that's going to go to your credit card bills. That extra 150 would go to one of your accounts. So the snowball effect, you take the smallest one, the smallest amount. So like if you only owe 400 on one card, but you owe a couple thousand on the other cards, the snowball effect will knock out the 400 first, that lower card first. The other one is the avalanche. So you're still doing the same thing, setting up the same way. But with this one, you're picking the interest.
mm,
So the one that has the highest interest, regardless of the balance, the more interest you pay, the more money you lose, essentially. So you'd pick that one first in the avalanche. There's also a custom, so you don't have to do these methods. This is just what they recommend.
right.
And I got this information from Nerd Wallet, so this ain't just, me just throwing it out there. Um, but essentially, that's what you want to do to knock down your credit. That's what I found to be easy than to just doing it on your own. Because when you're doing it on your own, you end up in that I make the minimum, make the minimum, make the minimum. I pay a little extra. I pay a little extra. You're knocking them down specifically. And when you do the custom way, because that's what I did. I did the custom way because I have a Best Buy credit card. I'm only going to explain the Best Buy one because I have that one and I can speak on that personally. But you know, you have those promotional credits. It's like you get this washer and dryer, but you got 24 months, no interest. Okay. Companies like Best Buy, you can log into the website, and if you scroll down, you can see what promotional balances that you have. You can check the box to say any excess that I pay, you want to go to this. If you have multiple, if you have one, you don't really have to do it. I go in there anyway. But if you have multiple, you want to hit the one that's going to end the soonest, obviously. Well, I normally put those first because I want all that excess to knock those promotional accounts out first. So my Best Buy card is always the first one that I want to pay all my excess to get that down. Because there was a time that I did not think about that. I just thought they'd do it automatically. Be like, oh, it's $100. I'll pay 150. The extra 50 goes to the promotional balance. No, it does not work that way.
You have to tell them where you want the monies to go to. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's kind of like set up that way so that you miss it.
So that you almost so that you fail. Yeah.
Right.
Especially like with Best Buy and some of those um, credit cards that are for companies independently. So instead of like a bank Visa, let's say you get a store credit card. So like Nine West or the Gap or something of that nature, those interest rates are usually really high. And
Mm-hmm.
like in the example of Best Buy or Lowe's credit card, if you're just paying the credit card balance, not the promotional balance, then at one point in time they could, when you say, I thought I had 24 months free. Oh, that was over. That was that. Now you need to do. And so I think it's just one of those catch 22s that they try to get you.
So even when I worked at Best Buy and someone would fill out a credit card, especially if it was a young person, we live in an area with a bunch of young Marines, and I kind of go into dad mode. So it's like, all right, you got a proof of this card. You're buying this MacBook. Do you know how this works? You got interest free for 24 months. Listen to me. And I literally would break it down like that. There was some of them, that really appreciated. Someone was like, "Oh, I know." It's like, okay, cool, and then I'll shut up. But if it's like, really, that's how that works, then I'd really break it down for them. But no one did that for me. I really wish someone had done that for me. So anyone watching this, if you want me to break down anything specific with credit cards and all those things, hit me up. I got you. Just let us know, and we'll do a whole segment. I'll put some pictures on there. We got you.
Because I just want to add this in because I think it's brilliant when you do tell people that. And of course, you've told our kids. But one of the things that I find quite frequently is there's people whose families haven't had credit cards or they didn't know how to manage money themselves, so they didn't teach them how to manage money. And then they find out, especially if you're in the military coming in, and specifically around here with young coasties and Marines, you're in the military, let me tell you all the things we can give you because you get paid on a regular 2 times a month. And then a lot of these kids end up in debt before they finish their first 4 years.
Hmm.
So I think that's brilliant that you take the time to explain because we have seen people that they could care less about who's applying for a credit card. You're just going to help me out if you get one. So I
Right.
think, and I haven't personally met anybody who's ran into you at the store where you were teaching them, but I have overheard you explain to people and then they were like, that's really cool. Does everybody do that in the store? No, they do.
No. People used to ask me by name in that store. But I even did it with my young guys when I was on, still on active duty because I struggled at the beginning. Oh my goodness, we don't make that much anyway. And trying to have a family and juggle all that stuff, the method that worked best for me. So anyone that's on active duty struggling, like lay all your bills out. Even though you don't want to see them, lay them all out. Focus on what is the payment date. You want to see what the payment date is. Active duty people get paid twice a month, first and the 15th. Before I did this method here, I'd have it whereas this paycheck, oh, I'm good. I got like some extra money. Oh yeah, we're good to go. This other paycheck, normally the first paycheck because the rent comes out, I'm struggling until the 15th. Oh my goodness. But then at the end of the month, oh, I'm good. Then I started to wise up and was like, hey, I better save a little bit because on the first, it's going to be rough. The method that I started using, and it's so simple. Once you lay all that out and you figure out what all the cost of everything is, split it up. Even if, let's say, the payment's due on the 16th, you don't have to wait until on the 16th to pay it. If you can pay it on the first because you know you can, do it. If you can't, don't. Same thing on the opposite end. If you got something that's due on the 22nd, but you can pay it on the earlier month because your other bills fall at the end of the month. So you know that's going to be just be smart about it and just spread it out so that you're not paying everything on one and just a little bit on the other. That worked well for me. I was able to manage that and I was able to get everything under control doing that. Because literally it was like, it's due on this date, I'm gonna pay it on that date. It's due on this date, I'm gonna pay it on that date. But
Most spaces have some type of financial advisor that you can also speak to, that it doesn't cost you anything if you're in the military, but you have to make, in most cases, the effort to contact them. They do come out to
mhm,
some units on some bases, but you, to have that one-on-one conversation to figure things out, you do need to reach out.
mhm.
So I
And
think that's
then
brilliant that you also offer that free advice.
yes. And then I even went into hot side hustles because I've had tons of jobs, literally tons of jobs. I can go on and on, but like since I got out, I kind of dabbled in all kinds of things. It's like I'm one of those people. I want to try it all. Literally, I've worked in a shoe store. I've been a firefighter. Been in the Coast Guard. Worked at a retail store. I worked at Chi Chi's. I worked at Kmart. I worked at Lowe's. But anyway, as far as side hustles, I did a little door dashing, a little bit Grubhub, those things. My new side hustle. I'm retired now, so I got a little bit of extra time. So I'm different than some of the others out there. So my perspective is slightly different. But UGC creator, we mentioned it last time. So this is like the little update. So I'm going to show my embarrassing video, but this is a part of the process.
Before you show your embarrassing video, did we tell them the last time on the prior podcast about the age group? We did, didn't we? About how people that are over 40 is a huge demographic need.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now show your video.
All right. You don't want just any old content. You want content that's going to drive sales. My name is Jaron. I'm a UGC creator. I like to focus on high quality videos and photos that's going to connect to real audiences. When I do tech reviews, I like to focus on what's going to matter in day-to-day life. I like to do videos on lifestyle, fitness, and tech that's going to help us content creators in the long run. If you like to help drive sales, hire me on Billo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my initial pitch video. So that was for a specific platform called Billo, Billo. So I got to change the end or just create another one that doesn't say Billo so I can send it out to other people. But essentially, it's just it's showing a little bit of what you can do. So that one I wanted to show that I had a DSLR camera. So you saw that me taking a picture of me taking a picture. Then action shots. Got our son in there dunking, so that was cool.
Yeah.
I got some of me in there working out. So anyway, you're just showing the different things you can do. There were some still images in there, so it can show that you can take photos and break down the picture. But then some of them get super in depth. Oh my goodness, we told you a little bit last week. So let me share.
And while Jaron's pulling this up, when he was explaining all this to me, I'm like, that's more than like a regular job to some degree. So,
Yeah. So this one. So this is like this is for my bald head. But you're advertising for a product. So that one I thought was pretty good. You can see the name, you can see that I'm using it. And then I'm going to show you this one just to show you I was trying to get different angles. And then I realized there's specific instructions is to not have other brands within the photos. So like this would have been a fail if I sent this in. So I changed my shirt and I opened the top so you can see that I'm trying to use it because they specifically wanted it to be a shot in use. And they pay you for these, literally. So this one here is for these clippers. And you had to show the name and same thing. So I wanted to show that so that I can show the difference between UGC and just making content on TikTok or
Hmm.
Instagram or Facebook. When you're making, so to make money online as a side hustle, all these other platforms have specific requirements. So like with TikTok specifically, because that's the biggest one that everyone is blowing up on. You got to have 10,000 subscribers in order to get paid for regular content. So just to make a video and get paid from it is based on how many people viewed it and all. There's so a lot of metrics. But in order to even get to that point, you need 10,000 subscribers. You need 1,000 to do TikTok Shop. So if you just want to just sell stuff. So in that example, if that was TikTok Shop, I can just get on there and be like, "Yep, this is what I use on my head. It works great. Ooh, look at that. Cool." Now, I only make money on TikTok Shop if people buy it. So they saw my ad, they click my video, and then they buy it. And then I get a percentage out of it. With UGC, we'll use that example, Dove, that company, they would pay me $50 to $150 to make that video or that shot. I don't need an audience or anything. They're looking for a certain demographic. So to tie back into what Bridget's saying, let's say that demographic, they're looking for an African American male with a bald head. So if they saw my pitch video saying hire me, and they're like, that's the exact demographic we want, they'd send me an email and say, hey, we want some still shots of you using the Dove shave cream, after shave cream. And then we'd work negotiation. I'd say, okay, if you want 3 videos, I need $150 plus whatever. You work out those negotiations. That's the difference with just making content on TikTok and being a UGC creator. So I'm getting into that space, and then I'm going to take you along on the journey. And of course, Bridget gets all of it because she lives with me. So she gets to see all of it, witness it, be in
But it's
some videos.
brilliant because I'm not at that point yet, but I also work a full-time job. But the other thing is I started explaining it to my parents who are in a different age demographic, obviously. And I was just trying to explain to them, both of my parents are retired. So if you ever wanted to do something a little bit on the side hustle, this is something that you could do because of the demand for that demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I doubt my dad is going to do it. And my mom just applied for another job out of retirement. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. We will. So far, I've gotten a couple offers already. We got one in the works. I'm really looking forward to this one. There's one that's for a bag. It's a $200 like tech bag, like a backpack tech bag. It's a new one that they're bringing out for 2026, and they asked me to do some content for it. So I reached out to them and told them I would be delighted. So we're just waiting on that response. I got one offering to do a ton of videos for just a little bit of money. I'll go ahead and just say it because I declined the offer, but they wanted me to do 75 videos for $500 or 150 videos for $1,000. Then it was like, here's what it is. It's an app. Think of like Duolingo or Rosetta Stone. It's one of those type of apps that teaches you a foreign language. And there's like, I don't know, tons of different languages in there. But you have conversation with it. But essentially, you just do a video of you using it. You gotta do 75 of those every day. No, no, no. Sorry, not 75 every day. 75 for the month. Either do 3 a day or 5 a day. So
You
if you're
just
doing the
made some of our listeners
75,
pass out.
yeah. If you're doing 75, then you got to do 3 a day. If you're
Mm.
doing 1,000, you got to do 5 a day. And you have to upload them to TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, I think. There was a third one. I don't remember the third one. But 3 different sites. No, thank you. I'm good. So,
Because I think the other thing is when you broke it down, it was only like $2 and something per video that you would actually be getting paid.
yeah. So I replied back saying, can we negotiate this amount or is this set? And do I need to do all three platforms? I'm only do one. And then they said, nope, that's it. So I said, I'm good. so so we moved on from that one. And then there's another one, whereas you just apply. We'll hit that next time because we're already at the 30-minute mark. So we'll go into that if there's any interest. But I will definitely give an update on
Yeah,
the
so
UC
please
journey.
always give us feedback, ask us
Hmm.
questions, let us know if you have any information that you want us to review or that you want us to find out or get more in depth for you. We'll be more than happy. Well, Jaron will be more than happy to do the research and we'll put it out there on one of our videos.
Even if you have any husband and wife topics, relationship topics, if you want to ask us what it's like to be an interracial couple living in North Carolina, we'll tell you. Whatever you want to ask us about, if you want to ask us about our moves, whatever it is, let us know. We are more than happy to provide you with content. Bridget, do you have any closing remarks for us?
So I just want to say this one because it was something that's been weighing heavy on my conscience and my soul. And oddly enough, I had just had a conversation with somebody this morning before church about having faith. And then during church service today with St. James Presbyterian Church in Charleston, South Carolina, which we do online, it talked about having faith. So if anybody's interested, Matthew 17:20, it talks about, for truly I tell you, if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you will tell this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Have faith. Have faith in whatever you want to do. Have faith in the people that are positive reinforcements around you. But have faith. You can move mountains.
Hmm. And as you see on our banner overhead, faith over fear. You got this. And we got your back.
100.
Thanks for watching and listening to the Humble Vestures podcast. Signing out, this is Jaron and Bridget. Y'all
Till
take
next
care.
time.
Peace.